Hey you guys, what's going on? Welcome to the first technology review on my channel. Today I'll be reviewing Nintendo's handheld console that almost never was. This is the Game Boy Micro. So this device was only sold for about a year. It sold very, very poorly, pretty much all around the world. And it was the predecessor to, or the successor, I should say, to the Game Boy SP, or the Game Boy Advance SP, but it was also the predecessor to the console that came out the year before, the Nintendo DS. So this console basically just sold terribly and ultimately was taken off the market very quickly after it was brought into the market. And it's a very sleek little console as well. I kind of wish that they sold it for a little bit longer just because it's sort of awkward being one of the only people I know that has one of these. But, as you can see, it boots up all Game Boy Advance games, but on a very small LCD screen. Want to change the brightness on it, you hold down the L button, and then you hold down the L button and the, volume buttons. I'll turn the brightness up or down. I'll just turn it down for the sake of this video. And as you can see, it does run all Game Boy Advance games pretty much perfectly. I actually brought in a few more games to demo, just to show off what this thing can do. So I will be right back with the next couple games that I have to show off for the Game Boy Micro. The first game that I'd like to demo for you guys is Megaman Zero 2, which was a very nice game, might I add. The only downside to it is that it took advantage of the Game Boy Link cable, which the Advance SP did not have. But other than that, the game pretty much runs perfectly, exactly like it would have on a SP or really any other Game Boy Advance before. Let me just wait for the camera to adjust. But yeah, as you can see, everything looks very sleek and nice on the Micro. The games run perfectly. And that's Megaman Zero 2 on the Game Boy Advance the Game Boy Micro. So now moving on to the next game. So the next game that I'd like to demo for you all on the Game Boy Micro is Super Mario Advance 3 Yoshi's Island. So I'm just going to go ahead and select a new file. And as you can see, it runs all games, even ones that did take some advantage of the Super FX chip, like Mario Advance. We're just getting a glare on the screen here, so I'm going to just try to move around the console a little bit. Alright, welcome to Yoshi's Island, a paradise where all Yoshis live. Just let me move around the camera real quick. There are all in an uproar of the baby that fell from the sky. Yoshi got this. Wait, it seems that the baby blah blah blah. And so again, as you can see, this runs Mario 2, or Mario World 3, Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island pretty much perfectly. I'll just do some level demoing as well. Welcome to Yoshi's Island. Very, very safe. Now we'll go to ton. Pretty self-explanatory. Oh. I'm playing this through my camera right now, so that's why my gameplay is so sucky. I'll eat you. Gosh darn it, go up there, Yoshi. But yeah, again, as you can see, all games run just fine on here. The console's lighting and everything actually looks quite spectacular. Better than I would have at least imagined it would have. Or better than I would have imagined it would. Ugh. Jump, jump, jump. Jump, Yosh. Oh. But yeah, that's about all for my really junk gameplay. So, that's demoing games on the Game Boy Micro. And now on to the final part of the review, which is the software itself. So for the last part of the review, I would like to go over the console layout itself. So as you can see over here, we have our directional pad, which works pretty much perfectly, feels very nice in your hand. It feels almost exactly like the DS's, which I have right here. As you can see, they literally look exactly the same. I'm just going to try to get both of those in the camera. I'll just do this. But there you go, they both look exactly the same. Start and select down here, start button there, select button there, A, B buttons, left and right triggers, power button right here, volume rocker here. Not really much to show over here. On the back we have our cartridge slot, which can just, hold the cartridges. Very nice looking, very sleek. Charging port right here for your, I think that's 8-pin adapter. Yeah, it's an 8-pin adapter. Little screws up here which are basically just holding back the shell of the Game Boy Micro. I do not believe you can replace the battery in this, but I'm not entirely sure. I've not really experimented too much with that. Headphone jack here on the bottom. And that is really all to show off as far as the console goes. Except for all the little toggles that the volume buttons do, just because these do a crud ton. We'll just turn the console back on. They serve as a volume rocker. Then if you hold down the left button, which I sort of showed this off earlier, but not too much, it will turn up and down the brightness. So we can turn it down or up. Pretty self-explanatory. And it is overall just a really nice little piece of hardware. Oh yes, and one more thing is just the speakers are there, and apparently they only have mono speakers, which they're still quite loud though. I'll just demo how loud the speakers get, again with Yoshi's Island briefly. Let me just show you how loud the speakers can get. Now I'm getting no Game Boy logo. Now it should work. Okay, yeah, now it's working. So you can just go ahead and turn the volume up or down. Then you can turn it down. Or up. And then we'll just demonstrate this on Mario Brothers. The volume sounds really crisp and clear on here, which had honestly shocked me the first time I played this. I didn't mean to pound that right away. But yeah, the volume sounds very crisp and clear on the Game Boy Micro, which is something that I was honestly surprised about first time using it. And I actually did not get this vintage. I got this from my cousins, who had a Game Boy, and he was like, "Hey, do you want my Game Boy?" So I was like, "Sure," and he gave me this, which I already had an SP before. I'm not sure where that is, so I can really... Oh, it's over here. So here, I'll be right back, and I'll sort of do a size comparison between this and the SP, which was the Game Boy Advance from before. So I'll be right back and just sort of show you. So I have here the Advance SP as well as the Micro side by side. SP being right here and Micro being right here, of course. And the Micro is a lot smaller. Like, you cannot argue with that. As well as that, the Micro had a lot more customization features, like these little outing shell things. These could actually be replaced, which was a very nice feature exclusive to the Game Boy Micro. I don't think Nintendo's done that since. Although it's just a nice little way to customize your Game Boy Micro to be your own, I guess. Whereas the Game Boy Advance SP just came in a very small variety of colors and didn't feature that good of a light as well. So I'll just turn it on and demonstrate that. As you can see, the lighting does not look nearly as good as the Game Boy Micro's, nor does the screen resolution at that. So there's the brightness on the SP, with the backlight, might I add, compared to the Game Boy Micro down here. And the Micro just looks a lot crisper and cleaner, and just overall nicer. So my final analysis is, if you have managed to find a Game Boy Micro, even though Nintendo sold like none of them, I would strongly recommend that you get a Micro. However, I am going to go over some cons now as well. So, yeah. One of the biggest, and I mean the biggest, flaws on the Game Boy Micro was its lack of backwards compatibility with Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Now, I know I will give it a break here just because it did come out in 2005. Yeah, 2005, so I guess not a lot of people really, or it was a lot of new Nintendo comers who didn't really have a Game Boy or a Game Boy Micro beforehand. But to the Nintendo veterans who wanted to play their old games, they would not fit in the slot at all. Like, I don't want to break any of the pins inside here, but whereas the SP ran Game Boy Color and Classic games perfectly. And notice I am using the word perfectly here. Oh, it's glitching out. That's the cartridge's fault, not the console. Gosh darn you, Game Boy cartridges. But yeah, as you can see, it is running Pokemon Blue pretty much flawlessly on here. Whereas it ran with quite a few issues on the Micro. Well, actually only one issue, and that is that it didn't even work. Although, that's one of the biggest flaws to the Micro. One more flaw that I can really think of is it used a new charger. One feature that Nintendo should have done with the Micro was have it use the same... I think it had... Yeah, I think the SP had a 12-pin adapter. It should have used the 12-pin adapter. I don't get why they didn't. Another thing is, I don't think it's compatible with the Game Boy Link cable. That is a huge issue, because multiplayer games like the Pokemon Advance games use the link cable for multiplayer. So this is the link cable port right here. The Micro did not have that anywhere on the system. That was a big flaw on their part. And this console would pretty much be perfect if they had the link cable port. However, those are the only two issues that I can think of, and other than that, this is an amazing alternative to the SP, which pretty much like everybody that I know has an SP as well, so I feel kind of different having the Micro as well as the SP. But yeah, that's about all for this video. I would highly recommend the SP if you did want to get a Game Boy Advance but didn't want to play Game Boy Classic games. If you want to play classic games on that Game Boy Advance as well, then the SP is the way to go. But in any other case, the Micro be the way to go. And I will see you all later. Bye.